know, it's creative, but it's interesting, at least to me, and I'll tell you, it certainly was this morning with my household, my 4 kids, that, and excuse them and forgive me, seemed more intrigued by this slide that we were working on than anything else related to this pandemic, because of their love for animals. We have 2 gorillas at the San Diego Zoo that now have tested positive for COVID-19. 2 that have been tested positive. We have another that's symptomatic. We're currently confirming the source of the infection and the strain. There is some question, did it come human to animal? That's being determined, and one has to respect that process and the adjudication of the facts. But nonetheless, it's just an area that's long been of concern, human to animal transmission, but our beloved gorillas, obviously, we are concerned about, and San Diego Zoo, best of the best. They've tested now formally 2 positive, but 3 are symptomatic, and we are likely to see more information about this in real time in the next hours, not just days. But I thought I'd just bring it up because, as I say often to all of you, what tends to resonate in my house, I want to make public to you in real time, and that's the update in terms of the status of these gorillas in the San Diego Zoo. So
from the basement.
CNN anchor Chris Cuomo is out of quarantine, recovered from COVID-19, and reunited with his family.
This is the dream, just to be back up here doing normal things.
Cuomo's 17-year-old daughter Bella has been taking care of the family.
My dad has corona, but he's going to be okay. He's actually doing really well right now.
And showed off the hazmat suit she used when checking on her dad.
I want to know, are the schools going to open tomorrow in New York City?
All right. First of all, let's try not to be obnoxious and offensive in your tone, because you're 100% wrong. We announced the orange zone law over a month ago. I don't know if you were here or if you were paying attention, but that has been in effect for over a month. It always said, if by the state's numbers you hit 3%, the schools close. What's going on here is nothing that the law hasn't said for over a month. We then had the test out procedures. If you were paying attention, you would have known we closed the schools in New York City 2 weeks ago. Remember when we did an orange zone and a red zone in Brooklyn and Queens, and we closed the schools? Don't you remember that?
It was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're now going to override. We did it already. That's the law. An orange zone and a red zone. Follow the facts.
I'm still confused.
Well, then you're confused.
I'm confused, and
Then I'll tell you what you mean.
Parents are still confused as well. The schools
Oh,
in
they're
New
not
York City
confused.
tomorrow.
You're confused.
Moment to see my former vice president become the 46th president, to see Kamala Harris as our first woman vice president. But more broadly, I think inaugurations signal a tradition of a peaceful transfer of power that is over 2 centuries old.
Well, I think the fact that the 3 of us are standing here talking about a peaceful transfer of power speaks to the institutional integrity of our country.
So this is an unusual thing. We are both trying to come back to normalcy, deal with totally abnormal challenges, and do what we do best, which is try to make a more perfect union. It's an exciting time.
We've got to not just listen to folks we agree with, but listen to folks we don't. And you know, one of my fondest memories of the inauguration was the grace and generosity that President Bush showed me and Laura Bush showed Michelle, and it was a reminder that we can have fierce disagreements and yet recognize each other's common humanity, and that as Americans we have more in common than what separates us.
I think if Americans would love their neighbor like they would like to be loved themselves, a lot of the division in our society would end.
That's what this means. It's a new beginning. And everybody needs to get off their high horse and reach out to their friends and neighbors and try to make it possible.
If, in fact, as George said, we're looking for what binds us together, the American people are strong, they're tough, they can get through hardship, and there's no problem they can't solve when we're working together. I think that was the theme of Joe's inaugural speech, and I think all of us discovered that we're at our best when we're all moving in the same direction.
America's a generous country with people with great hearts. All three of us are lucky to be the president of this country. Mr. President, I'm pulling for your success. Your success is our country's success, and God bless you.
I'm glad you're there, and I wish you well. You have spoken for us today. Now you will lead for us, and we're ready to march with you. Good luck. God bless you.
Joe, I'm proud of you, and you and Kamala need to know that you've got all of us here rooting for your success, keeping you in our prayers, and we will be available in any ways that we can as citizens to help you guide our country forward. We wish you
the election, but we now have, for the first time in our history, something other than a peaceful transfer of power.
That's right.
What does that mean for us writ large?
Well, I do think that we're bigger than all of this. Donald Trump was a stain on our country. I don't think we could have sustained our democracy if he had 2 terms in office for what he was doing to our institutions or what he was doing to our Constitution. He dishonored it. He, in every respect, was unworthy to be president, did not respect the office that he held, and certainly did not respect the office the rest of us hold as well. I respect the office of presidency of the president more than he did for how he mistreated it. So in any event, he's gone. We have to, how can I say it? It's not lessons learned because it was so evident all along what a disgrace he was, but to find out how we can bring people together. That's our responsibility. And again, nobody better than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
The House of Representatives took the first step toward making it a reality. And I want to thank, and I called her just a few moments ago, Nancy Pelosi, for extraordinary, Speaker Pelosi, for extraordinary leadership, and all those who supported our plan. And with their vote, we're one step closer to vaccinating the nation. We're one step closer to putting $1,400 in the pockets of Americans. We're one step closer to extending unemployment benefits for millions of Americans who are shortly going to lose them. We're one step closer to helping millions of Americans feed their families and keep a roof over their head. We're one step closer to getting our kids safely back in school. We're one step closer to getting state and local governments the money they need to prevent massive layoffs for essential workers. Now the bill moves to the United States Senate, where I hope we'll receive quick action. We have no time to waste. If we act now, decisively, quickly, and boldly, we can finally get ahead of this virus. We can finally get our economy moving again. And the people of this country have suffered far too much for too long. We need to relieve that suffering. The American Rescue Plan does just that. It relieves the suffering. And it's time to act. I thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.
Are you disappointed that you didn't get any Republican support? Thanks, guys. Let's go.
I've asked Congress to give them the tools. And today, to add one more tool to school reopening, a vaccinated workforce. Let me be clear. We can reopen schools if the right steps are taken, even before employees are vaccinated. But time and again, we've heard from educators and parents that have anxieties about that. So as yet another move to help accelerate the safe reopening of our schools, let's treat in-person learning like an essential service that it is. And that means getting essential workers to provide that service, educators, school staff, child care workers, get them vaccinated immediately. They're essential workers. Over 30 states have already taken the step to prioritize educators for vaccination. And today, I'm using the full authority of the federal government. I'm directing every state to do the same. My challenge to all states, territories, and the District of Columbia is this. We want every educator, school staff member, child care worker to receive at least one shot by the end of the month of March. To help make this happen, starting next week and for the month of March, we'll be using our federal pharmacy program to prioritize the vaccination of pre-K through 12 educators and staff and child care workers. Throughout March, they will be able to sign up for an appointment at a pharmacy near them. Now, I want to be very clear. Not every educator will be able to get their appointment in the first week, but our goal is to do everything we can to help every educator receive a shot this month, the month of March.
What's your gift for Valentine's Day?
Oh, it's not Valentine's Day. I'm not telling you. Sorry. Valentine's Day is a big day. Jill's favorite day. For real.
What inspires you to do this?
I just wanted some, joy, and I think things have been, so with the pandemic, just everybody's feeling a little down, so it's just a little joy, a little hope, that's all.
First year of vice president. When the press walked out of the executive office building, I walked into my office, and every single pane, the vice president's office, you see those panes are the 3, 6, 9, 18 panes in each window. She had taken the school kind of paint that kids put on poster boards, and put a heart and said, Joe loves Jill. None of them said Joe loves Joe, they said Joe loves Jill. And every one. And I went on the next morning. Remember Juju Chang?
I do.
I did an interview with her. She said, I understand that you and your wife have a great love affair. And I said, I hope so. And I said, but everybody knows I love her more than she loves me. And she said, look me straight in the eye. I said, that's what everybody says.
How do you extend that love story to the American people that are feeling so down right now, so discouraged?
Tell them there is hope. There's hope. You just have to stay strong. A lot of people have gone through unbearable suffering. They lost their families, lost their children, lost their husbands, wives, moms, dads, and it's almost unbearable. The only thing I can say to them is that they're still in your heart. Think about it in your heart. They really are. It's like your spirits. They're in your heart.
So we hope this lifted your spirits.
I hope you didn't come out of this early morning. It's so damn cold.
Next time, bring us coffee too.
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't sure you'd all be here. But
we'll be here.
Love your dog. We live here. Yeah, thanks. Champ's an old one. Which one's the old one, President? Well, he's almost 14 years old. I had him here when he became the vice president. We were wanting him to here, but he was bounding to. Like this guy. This is Major. We got Major. He's a rescue dog. And we asked the vet, what can we do to keep Champ going? He said, get him a young dog. And so, Ray, Champ, they're buddies.
Yeah, they are buddies.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry.
Nice pair there, Joe.
Say again?
You got a nice pair of dogs there.
I do. They're good boys. They're good.
I'll bring the donuts next Friday if you come back.
Okay. I tell you what, I apologize. Here, I didn't have a taste. I didn't even have a taste. Here, come on. I promise you.
I'm going to get in trouble. I don't have my mask.
I give you my word. I didn't have any.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. See you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, Mr. President. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's.
Good boy. Come on this way.